In this video, we'll study about the other nerves which are present in the orbit. First, we'll see the branches of the ophthalmic nerve. The ophthalmic nerve is the smallest of the three divisions of the trigeminal nerve. It enters the orbit through the superior orbital fissure by dividing into lacrimal nerve. Then you have the frontal nerve, and then you have the nasociliary nerve. So these are the three terminal divisions of the ophthalmic nerve: lacrimal nerve, frontal nerve, and the nasociliary nerve. Now we'll see about the lacrimal nerve. So this is the lacrimal nerve. It is the smallest branch of the ophthalmic nerve, and it enters through the lateral compartment of the superior orbital fissure outside the tendinous ring, where it receives a communication from the trochlear nerve. The nerve then it passes forward along the upper border of the lateral rectus muscle. Here it receives a communication from the zygomaticotemporal nerve, which conveys the postganglionic parasympathetic supply to the lacrimal gland from the pterygopalatine ganglion. The lacrimal nerve provides the sensory branches to the lacrimal gland and the conjunctiva and pierces the orbital septum and supplies the skin of the lateral part of the upper eyelid. Next we'll see about the frontal nerve. This is a frontal nerve. It is the largest branch of the ophthalmic nerve and enters through the lateral compartment of the superior orbital fissure outside the tendinous ring. The nerve passes forward between the roof of the orbit and the levator palpebrae superioris muscle. On reaching about halfway between the apex and the base of the orbit, the frontal nerve divides into supratrochlear nerve and the supraorbital nerve. The supratrochlear nerve is the smaller nerve and it is more medially placed than the supraorbital nerve. It passes forward and medially above the trochlea of the superior oblique muscle. So this is the trochlea. So it passes above the trochlea, hence it is known as the supratrochlear nerve. So when it passes above the trochlea, it provides a branch to join with the infratrochlear nerve. Thereafter, the nerve curves upward around the medial part of the supraorbital margin in company with the corresponding vessels and gives branches to the conjunctiva and the skin of the upper eyelid. So here you can see this is the supratrochlear nerve. So as the nerve ascends, it lies initially beneath the frontalis and the corrugator superciliary muscle. So this is the corrugator superciliary muscle. Then it pierces the muscle and supplies the skin of the lower part of the forehead. So here you can see this is the supraorbital nerve. The supraorbital nerve turns upward through the supraorbital notch or foramen, accompanied by the corresponding blood vessels, and the nerve supplies the conjunctiva and the upper eyelid. And as it ascends beneath the frontalis muscle, it divides into medial and lateral branches and subsequently pierces the frontalis muscle and supply the skin of the forehead and the scalp up to the vertex. A few branches supply the mucous membrane of the frontal sinus. Next we'll see about the nasociliary nerve. So this is the nasociliary nerve. It enters the orbit through the superior orbital fissure and lies within the common tendinous ring between the superior and the inferior rami of the oculomotor nerve. In the orbit, the nerve passes forward and medially crosses above the optic nerve from lateral to medial side along with the ophthalmic artery and reaches the anterior ethmoidal foramen of the medial wall of the orbit, where it continues as anterior ethmoidal nerve. Next we'll see what are the branches given by the nasociliary nerve. First is the communicating branch to the ciliary ganglion passes forward without interruption along with the short ciliary nerves. It conveys the sympathetic fibers from the internal carotid plexus and the sensory fibers from the eyeball. The next branch is given off by the nasociliary nerve or the long ciliary nerve. These are 2 or 3 in number. They arise from the nasociliary nerve when it crosses the optic nerve from lateral to medial side. The long ciliary nerve pierces the sclera in company with the short ciliary nerve and runs forward between the choroid and the sclera and supply the ciliary body, iris and the cornea. These fibers convey pain, touch and thermal sensation from the eyeball and also the postganglionic sympathetic fibers from the superior cervical ganglia to supply the dilator pupillae muscle. The next branch given off by the nasociliary nerve is the infratrochlear nerve. So this passes below the trochlea of the superior oblique muscle, hence infratrochlear nerve. While passing below, it receives a branch from the supratrochlear nerve and it supplies the skin of both eyelids, adjoining part of the side of the nose, conjunctiva, lacrimal sac and the lacrimal caruncle. So next nerve is the anterior ethmoidal nerve. It is a continuation of the nasociliary nerve. It traverses through the anterior ethmoidal foramen and the canal and appears in the anterior cranial fossa on the upper surface of the cribriform plate of the ethmoid bone. And it lies beneath the dura mater. The nerve reaches the nasal cavity through a slit by the side of the crista galli and it divides into medial and the lateral internal nasal branches. The medial branch supplies the anterior part of the nasal septum and the lateral branch supplies the anterior part of the lateral wall of the nasal cavity. The lateral internal nasal branch, thereafter it emerges at the lower border of the nasal bone as the external nasal nerve, which passes downward beneath the nasalis muscle and supplies the skin of the ala, vestibule and the tip of the nose. The next branch is the posterior ethmoidal nerve. The posterior ethmoidal nerve is a slender branch. It traverses through the posterior ethmoidal foramen and supplies the ethmoidal and the sphenoidal air sinuses. Next we'll see about the sympathetic nerves of the orbit. The preganglionic fibers arise from the lateral horn cells of upper 2 thoracic segment of the spinal cord. The fibers enters the sympathetic trunk through the white rami of upper 2 thoracic nerve and runs upward without interruption to reach the superior cervical sympathetic ganglion. The postganglionic fibers from the superior ganglion forms a plexus around the internal carotid artery and reach the orbit through following routes. First, the sympathetic root from the internal carotid plexus joins directly with the ciliary ganglion and passes uninterrupted along the short ciliary nerve. Some of the fibers of the internal carotid plexus accompany the ophthalmic, oculomotor, trochlear and the abducens nerve. And through the long ciliary nerve, which is a branch from the nasociliary nerve, it supplies the dilator pupillae muscle. Some fibers reach the orbit around the ophthalmic artery. When you see the distribution, the sympathetic fibers supply the dilator pupillae muscle, the superior tarsal muscle, inferior tarsal muscle and the orbitalis muscle, and they are vasomotor to the orbital blood vessels.